The Best of Enemies stars Taraji P. Henson and Sam Rockwell and is about the clash between civil rights activist Ann Atwater and Ku Klux Klan leader C.P. Ellis in Durham, North Carolina, 1971. At that time, when schools are still segregated, a black school gets mostly destroyed in electrical fire, and a debate ensues as to whether the students should be transferred to a white school to complete their education for the time being. Ann Atwater and C.P. Ellis are called in to speak on behalf of the side they represent at a 2-week charrette. They're both reluctant to agree because they hate each other's guts, but over the course of just those 2 weeks, they gain a different perspective of each other. I went into this movie expecting a courtroom drama minus the courtroom, like it was all going to be about the debate regarding the desegregation of schools. And actually, the debate itself makes up virtually none of the movie. It is solely about the people involved, their personal lives, and how they evolved during the time of the charrette. This is a fascinating story about change and redemption, and how it can be brought about to even the most despicable people. Ann Atwater starts out as a strong and ruthless activist, and when she learns that she's going up against her arch-nemesis in this debate, all she wants is to take a hard-hitting approach and just show him who's boss. In any movie that's all about seeing the bad guy get it, this is the kind of attitude that we're meant to cheer for. In fact, it seems as if The Best of Enemies starts out that way at first. But the movie goes on to make the point that she might not be taking the best approach. She's absolutely perturbed by how the organizer of the charrette, a fellow black man named Bill Riddick, is rather lenient on C.P. Ellis, and how another one of her teammates goes as far as to refer to him as brother. She begins to turn on them, thinking of them as race traitors or Uncle Toms. Eventually, though, she gets an understanding of why Ellis is the way he is when she learns a bit about his personal life. And she realizes that Bill Riddick's method may be more effective in creating unity. And the film is just as much about C.P. Ellis's transformation. As we see this guy struggling to take care of his mentally disabled son, some might get the feeling from that this movie is trying to get you to root for the bad guy. And it is in a way. Because we get an understanding of why Ellis is the kind of man that he is, we're not rooting for him to win, we're rooting for him to change. We can easily imagine some average Joe who has a prejudice problem changing his views of other people, but we often think of members of the Klan and other hate groups as just completely lost and irredeemable. So in this movie, to see the step-by-step transformation of a man who pretty much makes his living off of hating people different from him is really something else. And it leads to a final speech from Ellis that will be one of the best on-screen monologues this year. It generated a fair amount of applause from the audience at the screening I attended. Taraji P. Henson and Sam Rockwell are two actors that I'm starting to really like, and they do a terrific job here. I even like them more than anything else. The supporting cast, including Nick Searcy, John Gallagher Jr., and Gilbert Glenn Brown, are also deserving of praise. There are some supporting characters who aren't given a sufficient send-off by the end of the film, which I did find unfortunate, seeing how hard writer-director Robin Bissell worked to thoroughly develop everyone in this story. But there are really no other major drawbacks. I loved this movie, and it's clear that the audience loved it too. It's an uplifting, three-dimensional retelling of a story of two arch-nemeses who came to view each other as fellow human beings. I recommend it to everyone, and I'm going to give The Best of Enemies an 83%. Could this be the second year in a row where my favorite movie all year comes out in the first week of April? Probably not, but it'll be up there. That's a wrap. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this review helpful. Like if you liked, subscribe for more. This is Pop Culture. I'm Alex Pop.